Hey, welcome back to season 2 of the CxMixer podcast. I'm your host, Larry Thoma. On today, the first episode of season 2, we are joined by Katie from Simple Modern and Jennifer from 32 Degrees. This episode was really exciting. We jumped into a lot about AI and how brands can leverage AI to enhance their customer experience, as well as fighting fraud and creating a seamless post-purchase experience while increasing loyalty. It's another action-packed episode. I'm excited to get it started with these two. Let's jump in. Hey everybody, welcome to season 2 of the CxMixer podcast. I'm super excited to be kicking it off with two of my new friends, Katie, CX manager at Simple Modern, and Jennifer, director of CX at 32 Degrees. Thanks you guys for joining the podcast today.
Yes, so excited. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Today's episode, we're kind of focusing a little bit of throwback to season 1, but I think you guys are going to bring some really good inside information. It's like misconceptions around selling practical everyday products when it comes to customer experience. And an episode that I'm calling From Cart to Closet or Cup Holder, CX for Modern Essentials. So really excited to kind of get your guys' perspective on it. Katie, maybe we start a little bit with you. Like we just recently met. I feel like I already know you so well. Give us a little bit of background on your time with Simple Modern.
Yeah. So I started with Simple Modern 3 years ago in August. I actually used to be a teacher. I taught second grade for 5 years. So made a whole career switch, and teachers can't leave the helping profession. So I'm back in a helping profession, helping customers. So I started as an agent on our customer experience team. And then I actually moved to our manufacturing team for about a year and worked as a product specialist really closely with our partners in China, which was really amazing and insightful. But my heart is just really for customer experience. So I came back to CX as a manager and I've loved it. I've been in this position for a little over a year now. So it's been great.
Nice. And I'm sure being a teacher shows you some patience that you bring over to like customer experience.
Yeah. You really have to gentle parent customers sometimes. So
I'm sure we'll jump into that a little bit more. But Jennifer, New York OG, part of the e-com crew. I feel like I know you super well too. We run a lot of e-com social circles, but give us a little background on your time at 32 Degrees.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been at 32 for a little bit over 2 years now. It feels like I just got there yesterday, but I've been in CX like all my life. I think since I worked at Apple for 5 years, and then my last year at Apple was 2017, and I went to do customer service for a luxury company called the House of Creed. It's a fragrance company. So I worked for the distributors. While I was there, I just started as kind of like a customer service agent, like you, Katie. And then I got promoted to be like an associate manager and like led a team. But it was so completely different than what I'm doing now. I mean, luxury, like these bottles are $500. They're amazing, but it's like completely different as what I'm doing now. And I think I just like grew from there, and I really just love to see kind of a customer go from yelling at me on the phone to then thanking me 30 minutes later and being like, wow, you're the best. And I really just love the journey. And so now I'm here.
Yeah. $500 bottles to what were we talking? We were just talking before we started recording, like $4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You'll bring some mix to it. One of the things I always like to start off that I learned from last season is kind of asking like how big your teams are. Because I think sometimes people see these brands and they think that these customer experience teams are really big. Katie, how big is the team at Simple Modern?
We have done a lot of change as far as like what our team looks like. We have a few agents that are employed directly by Simple Modern. So like we work in the office together. There's 3 internal CX agents, and then we have outsourced 5 from Activate Talent. So we have a total of 8.
Okay.
It's pretty small.
And Jennifer, how about it for you?
Cool. So I have a BPO. So I currently throughout the year, and not thinking about Q4, we have 20 agents. 2 of them are team leads. Mm-hmm. And then we have a partner hero is our BPO. And they're great. They're awesome. And then for Q4, we ramp up. I know this year we're ramping up to 55 agents.
Okay. And you're managing
everyone's in the Philippines. Yeah,
Okay.
it's huge. Everyone's in the Philippines. And then I have a direct report. He's more freelance. He's also based in the Philippines, but it works really, really great.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's so many people.
A lot of people. Yeah. Last year for Q4, we had about 50. So we're only increasing 5 this year, which should be fine.
Yeah.
But it is a lot. It is a lot. But our team leads at Partner Hero are amazing. So yeah.
That's so
That's
cool.
a lot of call volume that you guys must be handling for 4.99 t-shirts.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
amazing
And our
gifts, I'm
customers love.
sure.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Our customers like love to chat. So yeah.
I mean, this is a good segue for opening up the theme of the show. So, like, I kind of want to pick your guys' brain before we jump into the first segment around what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about selling these practical, everyday products? So, you guys both kind of described yourselves as these lifestyle brands, right? So, when you're selling these, how do you think it's like impacting CX? And maybe Jennifer will stick with you and say, like, what do you think the misconception is around selling these everyday products?
Yeah. So I think, and obviously because I came from luxury, in a sense, I was there for 3 years with the House of Creed, completely different. Obviously, the volume was a lot lower. But I do think when it comes to, I think a lot of customers think that these brands that have lower price items are like sometimes scams. They're like,
Yeah.
it's so hard to believe that this shirt is $4. And sometimes customers will email us and will be like, is this real? Like, am I
Oh,
getting scammed? No, we are the, authorized retailers for 32 degrees. Don't worry. So I think that is a huge thing with our customers. They're just like, is this a scam? Like they can't believe the price, especially when, sometimes like on
Maybe.
Amazon, obviously you'll go on there and you'll be like, a t-shirt is for like $5 or something like that. And it's believable. It's like Amazon. But like you go to an actual website and you're like, wait, everything kind of looks right, but is this real? And I think obviously when it comes to that is like, you just automatically think you're not going to get good customer service, which I've been guilty of that as well as a consumer. But that is always my goal every day, is to surprise and delight these customers
Right.
and be like, we are not a scam and you will continue to purchase from us. So yeah, I think that's huge. I feel like sometimes customers like don't take us seriously, even though like our AOV is a little bit lower, our price is a little bit lower. Then my goal, I think I love the challenge, is to like kind of turn their minds around. They're like, wait, this is awesome. I'm going to continue to purchase here, instead of maybe there's some customers that are like, oh, I usually go to Costco and now I'm just going to continue to purchase from you guys. It's a lot easier and I'm getting assisted pretty quickly and, things like that. So
Katie, now asking you, kind of curious, coming from the Simple Modern standpoint, obviously there's a lot of competitors in your space. We won't name them. Everybody's got tumblers in their closet, but just curious, what do you think some misconceptions are when providing CX for a lifestyle brand like Simple Modern?
yes. So, gosh, I've been thinking a lot about this. I think because we do have so many different competitors, like our founders knew going into this space that like we weren't just going to be the one water bottle company. There's a lot of lifestyle brands. People have a lot of color design opinions and are looking for, sometimes different things. I think one way that we try to differentiate ourselves is by our motto, good everywhere. So we want to be good everywhere for customers, which includes like on their day-to-day life. But we also, shameless plug, I guess, for Simple Modern, we do give back 10% of all of our proceeds. And we partner with a ton of different giving partners within like homelessness. We have a lot of different core focus areas, including homelessness and human trafficking, clean water in other countries. So it's cool to be able to see like I'm helping a customer right now with an issue with a lid, and I know that what I'm doing matters a ton because some of their some of their cost of their item went to this really incredible giving partner. So we do try to at least tell our customers kind of like what we're doing and why we're doing it. Like, yes, we want to be an incredible water bottle company, but the reason we want to do that is so that we can serve our community and the, America, the world, everywhere. So good everywhere.
that's
I love
awesome.
that. That's great. And then I think that like is customer experience with a mission. That's always fun.
Right.
Well, we'll transition into the first segment and really jump into this. I think you guys have already shared a ton of good information, so I'm excited to dive a little bit deeper with you guys on this. But segment one is the CX playbook. And I always like to start with this one because I think it's a good way to really understand what's important for you guys when you're thinking about customer experience. So, what's one customer experience tactic or moment that you think really made an impact at your brand? And especially at the scale that you guys are currently operating. And so I think about a lot of things now, especially as this episode's going to release before peak season even, right? So when we think about your guys' brands and what, Jennifer, you already kind of talked about ramping up for Q4. Kind of curious, let's start with you, Jennifer. What's something in your playbook that you think has really helped impact customer experience at 32?
Yeah, I think with us specifically, my goal, I think when I came into 32 Degrees, my goal was I'm passionate about CX, but my passion is really just like people, talking to people and like turning their experience around if they were having a bad experience. I'm super involved with our BPO. I am on Slack. I'm sending updates and our team leads are great, but I'm constantly just like sending updates. I'm checking what me and we have QA, I mean, with Partner Hero, but what me and Jay's, he's my direct report, what we've been doing a lot more is we've been just going into Gladly is our help desk and just looking through conversations, and the agents are able to tag us in questions where, they're just asking things they might not know. So that is a way for us to also look at the conversations. But sometimes randomly, I'll just go in there and look at conversations and I'll be like, we could have made an exception for this. Yeah. Why didn't we turn this around? Let's kind of talk about this. And I think they now are like, okay, wait, Jen is like looking every time I'm on a call with them every week too. I'm like, guys, like, I really want you guys to listen and be empathetic to the customer. It does not matter that they spent $5 or $200. I want you to listen to the customer because that's all they want. They want to be heard and they want to be listened. So I think just like getting involved more in the conversations, seeing how the agents are working, because you can see metrics and you'd be like, okay, yeah, great FRT, amazing. CSAT is doing really well. It's at a 4.3, but like, there are opportunities everywhere. And I think once you point them out, it's like a ripple effect. It can fix so much and it goes a long way.
When you're scaling to the more agents during Q4, like how are you managing that? Like when you're bringing them in and they're asking these questions, you're managing this all yourself, right? So like, how do you do that at scale for somebody who's jumping so large?
Yeah. So when the team gets that big, my direct report, Jay's, will be answering questions right now. And then, so our team leads go up to 4 during Q4. So then that allows them to be able to essentially be able to answer more questions and stuff, because right now we only have 2. Also, it gives them the chance to be able to like work on more questions and stuff and be able to handle a lot more. Because obviously our temps, they're going to have questions naturally, but like, Slack for us and Notion is our like, I love Notion. We update everything in there. Our line sheets, Q&As, anything that's like questions that are really common. We have the responses, the macros to it. We also have macros in Gladly as well, but sometimes we just have everything. That's like our truth. They are set up for success, but our team leads really are there to support them, especially that they, there's 4 during Q4, but we're also there to support them as well. I'm always like, please Slack me personally. Just because I'm the manager here or director does not mean that you cannot reach out to me. I'll make myself available to you guys. And I think me doing that as well, they're like, okay, it's okay for me to ask questions if I'm confused or don't know what to say.
Yeah. And Katie, I know you love Slack too, so we should have all been on Slack.
And I love Notion. Jennifer, Notion is amazing. I don't think I use it as well as I could though. So you're giving me some ideas. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, honestly, like literally after I got Notion for us, my VP was like, tell me how you use this. And I was like, I'll show you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do like a whole one on like leveraging Slack, leveraging BPOs, leveraging Notion, do like a little training or something. But yes. Katie, what's like a CX playbook for you guys at Simple Modern?
Okay, so honestly, I like want to just first piggyback off what Jennifer said. Like people is our biggest passion as far as like treating the customers how we want them to be treated. We definitely try to put the person first and hear them out and try to, just provide the empathy that they're they're just looking, like she said, to be heard. They just want to be heard. They're frustrated about this. Like it's helpful to put yourself in that position and just say like, yeah, that's hard. I'm sorry that that's happening. Here's how we can help. And then also we try not to be super black and white about our warranty and our policies, because there always needs to be exceptions. And obviously you don't want anyone to take advantage of your generosity, but you also want to give the customer a good experience. So like if, there is a case that technically we don't cover it in our warranty, but we want to give that customer a good experience and have them come back again, we'll make an exception and say like, we'd be happy to offer you blah, blah, blah for on, this occasion. We hope that this improves your experience. So I would just say for us, it's like, don't be too rigid with the policies that are in place. Obviously, policies are in place for a reason, but if you can be generous in certain cases, we want that because we want to have a good customer experience over us just being on our policies. So that's probably my thing.
Does your team have something, I guess, that they go by to make those exceptions? Or do they always ask like a team lead or a manager to see if they can make that exception?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I kind of have told them from the beginning, err on the side of generosity. So if you have the ability to do something a little extra, even if we wouldn't normally, like whatever normally is, normally being like our warranty policy, I guess, if you have the ability to say, you know what, like, I want to bless this person, or I want to like give them something a little extra, feel free to do that. You have the, ability to do that and to use your judgment. I've given some kind of guidelines as far as like, maybe don't go over this, or don't go over this amount, or, don't maybe do it this many times a day or something. But our team works similarly to yours as far as like, we are smaller, but our BPO agents have one of our internal agents that they can go to for specific questions. So it's kind of like their team lead. I call it their buddy. We do like a buddy system. It's helpful for them to have a space where they can like ask questions about things like that freely and not overwhelm a channel.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. And good question, Jennifer. And I think too, like, when, you were talking about warranties, and I think this is something that I've been talking to my buddy Adam works for a company called Yofi, and they're handling this for brands all the time around fraud and this return fraud and warranty fraud and stuff like that. Kind of taking this in a different spin outside the segment, but just kind of curious, are you both finding that fraud is becoming a bigger issue for your brands? Like this idea of like return fraud, or
oh man,
not so much?
But for us specifically, it's not. We have not found that it is. Like even like our chargebacks percentage is like very low. So we've been like very lucky, but we do have things set up in Shopify to be able to like block obviously certain people to place orders. And sometimes we have people that buy a whole bunch of gift cards and then they dispute everything that they place the orders with the gift cards with. But we also like will manually tag sometimes, like if a customer is clearly abusing the system, or I see a trend that's like, strange, I will tag them as arbitrager. I never know how to say that word, arbitrager. And it'll essentially block them from, well, they can place the order, but then we just have to manually approve it or cancel it. And I do that a lot. So if I feel like if I'm always looking at trends and stuff, because we definitely use like tags in Shopify a lot to just be able to distinguish like, any sort of like fraudulent behavior. So yeah, but we don't have too much, to be honest.
That's good.
That's good. Katie felt like you were like, yes, but I know your industry well. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, it's interesting, like knockoff tumblers.
Yes.
I mean, I just was talking with another tumbler brand about this, and they're like, they have retail stores, and they're like, hey, you can bring your tumbler back and we'll give you $5 off your next purchase. And they're like, the amount of like fake tumblers we get that aren't our brand and that they bring into retail stores to return is wild.
For $5? For $5,
but at least I'm taking it off the market. I know, but yeah. So it sounds like maybe fraud's a big thing for you. Not a big thing.
No,
something that you guys deal with.
Unfortunately, it kind of is. It's like we see a lot at different periods of the year. I feel like we do sell a lot on Amazon. Amazon returns are maybe the second worst. I would say TikTok Shop returns are the worst right now, which we just started selling on TikTok Shop not long ago, and it's a great platform as far as like our products are selling very well, but there's not a lot of oversight for us as far as like the policies that TikTok Shop already has in place. So for TikTok Shop returns, customers can basically like return anything they want. Like we've seen it all. I mean, we had a lime scale remover, like huge carton, and it was supposed to be like 10 tumblers or something. They tried to make the weight the same. It's crazy. And then like Amazon, a lot of times what people will do is they'll buy one of our products and then they'll put an old tumbler of theirs in the box, and then they'll send it back. And sometimes Amazon doesn't check like the returns. And so they'll go back into circulation. And then a customer who bought the product from Amazon is getting this person's nasty old cup. Like we've seen milk left in stuff. I mean, it is nasty, y'all. Like it's crazy.
And then you have to handle the customer experience for that, which is wild, right?
They're like, how dare you? And we're like, well, we are separate from Amazon. I do need to explain that to you first. And then second, I'm so sorry. That's horrible.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll send you another one. A spoiler for episode 2 of this season, but it's actually all around fraud. So I'm kind of excited to dive in the next episode.
I can't wait to listen.
Well, so Katie, you're kind of already starting with a little bit of a confession around fraud and Amazon and milk. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll kick off with you for segment 2, which is honestly my favorite. And you would kind of joke that this was like the easiest one for you to answer. So the CX confession booth is segment number 2. What's a memorable CX breakdown or misstep that you've been part of, and what you learned from it? So we'll keep it going with you and give Jennifer some time to think.
Yeah, I can think of multiple, but the best story that I have, and it's one that I tell still constantly. This happened when I was an agent at Simple Modern still. And I'm trying to remember, like it was a really busy time of year. So it must have been around back to school because that's normally our busiest season. And there was a customer that was just having all sorts of issues. And it really was so unfortunate. Like everything that happened, it was just a series of unfortunate events, like something about her delivery, something about the product, something about blah, blah, blah. And it was just everything. And so I felt so bad for her. And we, at the time, had just stopped doing phones, but I did feel like I needed to call her just because I was like, girl, I wasn't the manager, but I was still like dealing with a lot of her tickets. And so I was like, I just need to talk to you. I remember her name, but I won't say it. I'll keep that private.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget. I'll never forget her name because of what happened later. But I called her and I was like, I am so sorry for everything that's gone on. I really hope that this hasn't deterred you from using our products. I'd love to offer you like a $50 coupon code for a future product. I'll email that to you, blah, blah, blah. So I made her a $50 coupon code, but your girl forgot to check the one-time use box.
No.
And when I tell you that not only, okay, so this was like in maybe June or something. Yeah, no, it might have even been like April. We went back, long story short, August 15th, a day I'll never forget. My boss was like, hey, do you know anything about this coupon code? And I was like, I don't know, like looking it up in Shopify. I was like, oh no. The customer herself, she used that code probably 40 times herself.
Oh my gosh.
He used it 40 times. She realized that she could use it multiple times, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." And it's crazy.
Yeah.
At the time, we had like a buy-sell trade. We still do. Like, there's a buy-sell trade group that like we're not affiliated with, but people will go on and talk about products and stuff. I remember this. She was posting photos of her hauls, like her like. I got all this stuff. Oh my gosh, my husband's gonna kill me. She got it basically for free. Anyways, so that happened. Not only that, unfortunately, then it got put on a coupon sharing site like Honey.
No.
That code, y'all, it was used like 1,200 times. 1,200 times. I was like, if I'm not fired after today, I was crying in the bathroom. It was a whole thing. And I remember my boss. What?
Simple Modern, or that you're not still employed at Simple Modern.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought for sure, like, that's my last day. That's it for me. Like, it's been fun. But
honestly, though, I feel like with coupon codes, though, when you create them, it's easy to make mistakes like that. And like, honestly, I've heard so many people like kind of similar stories. So don't feel too bad.
Thanks. I remember though, like my boss and our like e-com head, like chief, they were so kind and sweet to me. They were like, we always say that mistakes like this are a tuition. So it's like, if that was, the tuition of you learning, hey, check the box that says one time use, like, that's worth, the cost of tuition. I was like, okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I think Max at Tommy John had a similar one, and he was like, "Are you even in CX if you didn't have like a big promo code mishap?" I think yours
fair.
is the best so far, Katie. Though I think being used 1,200 times over multiple months is probably pretty good. And then you think like that customer probably also called in at some time and said, "Hey, my promo code's not working anymore." Like once they went to go use it again.
I remember making writing out a message to her because I was like, I'm going to call her out on this. That is not okay. And she wrote in, the reason we called her out on it is because she wrote in about a warranty claim on a product that she basically got for free. And I was like, no, no.
I was like, how dare you? How dare you?
This is when I draw the line. No more generosity.
Yeah, what's that promo code, by the way? Like,
it's off now.
Yeah, it's shot. Jennifer, what about you? Anything crazy from 32 you want to confess?
My first Q4. So yeah, I started in 2023 in March. And so that was like my first year. I was not prepared for the amount of volume. I just like was not prepared for a high volume, just inbound company. I was not prepared for that. So we ramped up. We didn't ramp up as much, obviously, as now, but we ramped up and I was like, okay, we're good. Like, we don't need to be paying all these like 15 or 13 more agents for the work. I think just the end of December after Christmas. And I was like, we are done. And I did not realize I was the one that made the decision. And I was a manager at the time. I told the team, hey, I was like, yeah, so like, we don't need the temps anymore at this point. I made that decision. And then literally the week after, I was like, wait, we were so behind. We had tons, obviously the aftermath of the holidays. I just didn't think that it was going to be so much. Like I thought at that point we were going to be okay, which sounds so dumb to be honest. Like now I'm thinking about it and I was like, oh my gosh. And then my manager was like, Jen, why aren't they working? Like, why don't we have the temps? And I was like, I just made the call that they didn't have to. They were done essentially. Yeah. And he was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. So like, obviously we had so many inbounds. We were so behind all of our KPIs. We were not meeting anything. And it was like a learning experience, obviously for me. I was like trying to take a risk and be like, let me make a decision and just make it and be like, okay, because I don't want to spend any more money on these agents. We're good. We can handle it. We did not handle it. And it was like obviously on me. And I was like, yep, I learned. Trust me. After that Q4, I was like,
never again.
I think this is why this is my favorite segment that we do, and we do it so early in the episode, is because I feel everybody's like, okay, they're human. These fun big brands make mistakes too, and they're still there, right? They're not there. I love, yeah, like Katie at Glossier had a good example too, where the mistakes that they made actually ended up turning into like an annual friends and family sale or something, or that they end up doing.
Oh, I heard that episode. It was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, like so they turn into like good learning moments, and like, yeah, now you both will never make those mistakes, and hopefully we can stop somebody else from making those mistakes in the future. It's not really like a CX confession booth, but maybe a little bit. I don't think I ever told this to you, Katie, when we met. So a good friend of mine, Jess, who runs an agency called Open Lake Collective. I think Jennifer, you know her. Maybe Katie, you know her too.
I'm familiar, yeah.
Okay, I was on her podcast after hours like 2 months ago, but we actually talked about Simple Modern, and I had said, somebody connect me to Simple Modern. She was like drinking from her tumbler, and she was like, I don't even know how to clean this thing.
It's like, this is really hard to clean. It's like, I have this.
Yeah.
And then I also have this piece of it, but I want to I want to open it and like scrub it, and I can't.
And we were talking about the best way to clean it, and how like you know, a really cool idea would be to include in the outbound journey when you're buying these tumblers on the D2C website, being able to say like, hey, here's care and cleaning instructions. And we went into this whole thing, and it was, her and I are always a hot mess when we get talking. So like, it just kind of sprouted out, but I'll find the clip and I'll share it with you.
Yes.
But I think like
I feel
ended up
so
not
bad that she didn't know how to clean it. That makes me so
not
sad.
talking trash, but we were like trying to figure out how to open her lid and clean it. And so I
It was
think,
probably one of the signature lids. We don't make those anymore. I'm not going to say any more than
yeah.
that.
So my confession, I had maybe talked a little bit bad about your post-purchase experience, your outbound experience, but now you're here and we're cleaning it up. I think that that's why it's a good transition to segment 3, which is the designer's toolbox. And I think this one, I started this segment mostly because there's so many technologies out there, and you both have already named a couple. I mean, we can't say Notion, we can't say Slack because we've already used those, but everybody's using different technologies and you're using it differently. And I think this is always a fun one to kind of highlight the things that are like helping you in your day to day. And so, Jennifer, maybe you want to kind of share something that's in your toolbox that helps you and the team.
Wait, Katie, can she start first? Sorry, let me think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Throw Katie out there.
Ready. I was not ready for the first one, so I don't feel like I answered that question very well. Second one, third one, I'm ready. I don't remember 4 and 5, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, perfect. So what's in your toolbox for Simple Modern?
Okay, so a couple of my favorite like CX tools that we use at Simple Modern, Sienna AI. I think AI, and this will come up again later with something I have to say at the end, but AI has been a huge tool for us, especially just in the customer's journey. We are straightforward that our AI assistant is an AI assistant. Like, we don't pretend she's a human, which causes some positive and negative feedback because some people want to know they're talking to AI. And then some people, like, when they know they're talking to AI, they get mad. And so they're like, I wouldn't have known this, but now I'm angry because you're a robot. And it's like, okay. But yeah, Sienna has been amazing. We were able to create like 100 different types of automations with them, where if a customer writes in about a certain, situation, they're getting a response within like 3 or 5 minutes. But if, it needs to go to the team, like, it can do that too. So that's been great. It's a very like empathetic AI. So that's been helpful because she really is a lot more empathetic than a lot of us humans are, which is funny because,
you're like, we don't pretend that she's human as
right.
You like gender her. And
okay, they call her a her. Sorry, she is.
Okay.
But have you ever seen
like,
Smart House, like a Disney movie? That's who we think of when we think of our Sienna. Like, her name's Hallie, and in the movie it's like this lady who gets really big, and it's scary, but yeah. So Sienna, and then that's been really helpful for our agents, especially for Sienna, to like gather a bunch of information up front, and then the agent can take it from there. And then another tool that we love that we just recently started using is order editing. And that gives customers like a certain amount of time at the, after their order to make changes. And we were seeing a lot more, issues, cancellations, because they weren't able to go in and quickly like fix something. And so that's been really helpful. And then another thing really is just, Larry, I know like we just started with Parcel Lab like 2 weeks ago. Having a seamless returns experience is so monumental for a company. Before we started using any service, we manually created every single label, and it was absolutely dreadful, like terrible, horrible experience for the customer, because they had to like take a picture of their receipt and then wait for us to get back to them and like refund it. It was horrible. So having like a streamlined, quick, they send it in and they get a refund and it's quick and they can do it themselves, like portal, is so nice. So those are my biggest tools that we love.
I mean, obviously I love Parcel Lab, but I also love order editing.
Yeah.
And Hamish is just what a handsome, fun guy. I chat with him all the time. Like, I'm always like, so young.
He's
and good
insane.
entrepreneur.
He's like 23 or 24 or something. I'm like, what are you?
I know. Like, not to plug some other person's company, but if you don't follow him on LinkedIn, like, I love his journey and the things he posts. And I've chatted with him a handful of times. We have a lot of overlap with brands we work with, and he's just always such a genuine guy. And that's what you always have to appreciate in tech. There's a lot of sharks out there, a lot of people that like, you're like, oh, great. Like, I don't want to deal with this person. But I mean, when you run into like genuine people like that, and he works with a lot of my friends, and I think he's pretty good at taking care of. Yeah. So yeah, I guess shout out to free publicity to order editing. If you're not using it, look it up on the Shopify App Store, right?
They really are great. It's been helpful for us.
Yeah, I have so many plans. Yeah. I have so many plans. When you said AI, I was like, yep, I'm on that track. Yes. Not there yet, but on that track.
Yeah, I get it.
What about you for your designer's toolbox? Now you've got a chance to think about it. You've heard 3 good ones.
Yeah. So I would say SimpleSat is our CSAT platform. They've been really great because we were in Gladly, they don't have a built-in CSAT tool. So when we switched from Gorgeous to Gladly, we had to essentially get a CSAT tool because obviously that feedback is super important.
Mhm.
But it's been really great for us to just see what customers are saying in terms of just like they get the survey sent after because obviously we have NPS set up as well, which is more, I feel like, just I think it's more slow, like 32 degrees in general feedback. And I think CSAT has been very specific in terms of the like conversation with the agent, which is like my priority is to make sure that we see those opportunities and we're like, these are quick fixes. So that's been great for us because we're able to essentially build out multiple surveys as well and be
Mhm.
like, okay, this is the type of survey I want to send out. Let's switch it up maybe like in a month. Let's see what customers are saying, things like that. It's also great to just see like, okay, like what is like a major, like right now we have a survey set up and it's just it's very like basic, like, oh, like how would you rate your experience? But then if you rate us like negatively, it kind of gives you a multiple choice of what was wrong. So it's like the wait time, or was it like shipping, or was it that you weren't able to edit your order? So we get that specific feedback. For example, shipping is something that continuously comes up for us. And we're like, okay, what can we do about this? So it's very like we get the feedback and we analyze it and it's very proactive. And we have a CX meeting every week with my boss. And so we're able to be like, okay, let's create maybe like some solutions to this. We talk to like our warehouse or, any of our other, resources and stuff and see what we can do. So it's been great. I'm all about feedback and doing something about it. So
Yes.
Yeah. So, Katie, you kind of mentioned that you guys moved away from phones. So obviously phones aren't as big of a area for you, but I was curious, Jennifer, for you, are you guys finding that your customers are heavy? Because you said like wait time, right? I'm assuming that's when they're calling in for the agents, or were you thinking wait time for the product?
So yeah, wait time for FRT. So we do have phone. That's one of our channels, but we really try not to make it like there was a minute there where we were like, should we just get rid of it? Like, is it worth it? Our customers do love to chat on the phone. I mean, email in terms of volume is our biggest channel like
Yeah.
overall, but we purposely don't even put the phone on the website. It's like kind of like hidden. It's like a little like where's Waldo? Like in confirmations and stuff like that. We want our customers to use live chat and to email us. And obviously sometimes I know that's not what a consumer wants, but I think we are heading in a direction where a lot of companies don't have talk as an option.
I was gonna say it's a hot take with a lot of brands that we talk to. Like, there's some brands that are like, we love phone, and then I just learned this last season because I had one episode where True Classic and Tommy John were like, phone is my unsung hero. Like that was both their kind of like designer's toolbox. Then I literally get on the next one, and Bobble Bar and Glossier are like, I hate phone. Don't call me. Like we don't want people to. We want to do email. We want a paper trail. We want to know.
Yes.
So it's just interesting to hear that. But I think, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, we've already talked about AI, we can talk about AI more, but there's a lot of AI phone agents now too, for people that do have these like secret phone, so that if someone does call in, you can maybe kind of control what they're asking without having to actually have an agent answering phone calls all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're kind of looking into that with Sienna. They have like something in beta. It's actually like amazing. And they have recorded it to sound very human. Like you don't have to pretend that it's a human, but I've been playing with it and it's actually really crazy. And it just uses all of the information that you already have provided in Sienna. So I didn't have to really do anything extra. It just needs its own kind of instructions on how to talk to the customer. And it always will give the option. Like I always want customers to have the option to talk to a human if they want to, like not on the phone, maybe we'll see. But if you would like a human to reach back out to you, like they will.
Yeah.
I'm looking into AI. Like that's my next priority.
We can chat because I have a lot of opinions.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely love to chat about that because right now I'm looking into digital genius right now.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone's already hired for Q4 and for our ramp up. So and my boss, he's like, let's not stir anything up right now, ruffle any feathers. Let's wait until Q1 slows out and let's test it out. And I really like them, but like I feel like there's so much opportunity with AI. Like I'm so excited about it. And I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm like, let's take this to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Shivani, a digital genius. She's
Shout out
great.
Shivani. Shout out Ashley too. Love her.
No, I love that. That's all great. I think this is actually one of the best designer toolboxes we had. You guys each came with like a handful of different technologies, and that's always fun because I think there's a lot of people that leverage the same technology across platforms, and it's nice to hear how other people are using it. And then also, like, I hear a lot of times brands get kind of connected with other brands afterwards because I don't think people realize how, I mean, maybe people realize how connected the industry is. And then they'll be like, hey, like you mentioned Sienna, like, how are you? I mean, I know people are like, how are you leveraging Sienna? How are, like, you're thinking about digital genius, Jennifer, you'll probably get like a call from Nancy or something afterwards telling you how Fairway uses digital genius.
Oh.
Yep. Yes.
But let's jump into segment 4, which I think is, we kind of talked about something that you're not doing. What's one part of the journey that you've obsessed over and improved, and what's been the payoff? Where I like to dig into maybe, we've talked a little bit about retail versus D2C and stuff like that. And so I think you guys have a couple different ways that the customers get to your product, but what's something that you think has gone really well and paid off? Katie, maybe we'll start with you on this.
Yeah, I don't want to say like the same thing again because I did just mention like AI, but that has been such a game changer for us. And I have obsessed over it. Like you can ask anyone on my team. I'm in basically the way that like Sienna does it is you give instructions and context in the automation. So the automation is like, I'm reaching out about a broken lid. And so you're giving the AI instructions on how to handle that inquiry. And so you can have an automation for literally any type of situation that a customer reaches out about. I don't know anything about Digital Genius, but maybe they're the same. But I mean, it has been like such a journey for us. We started with them when they were still really, really, really new in 2023. And we have gotten so far with how much Hallie is able to handle for customers. And it's honestly insane. She can handle a lot. I don't know how many, like the percentage, maybe like 30% of all of our inquiries from start to finish. And it's just been amazing. And then they continually come out with new products. And so we have like a live chat on our website, and that is, her name is Maddie. It's been really great to kind of free up, our human agents' time in that way, answering questions that are just really simple and straightforward, but also some that are not, and gathering like a ton of information and being able to provide that for the agent who works on the case. So that's my answer. Like AI is insane, and it's come a long way already. And I know it's just going to get even crazier, but I'm sorry to talk about AI like 17 times.
I love it. And Maddie is also powered by Sienna. Your chatbot is?
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about this on the end of the last season with Dr. Squatch, but their chatbot is Chad. And they've put a whole personality into him. Like Tess kind of explained, he's like the surfer who's laid back and spent all this time. And they put so much personality that they're like, people will chat with him and be flirty and all this stuff and don't realize that it's not a real person. Or she said they'll call in and say, well, Chad told me, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Okay, this happens.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It happens with Hallie sometimes in email. Okay. Someone will say, oh, no. I talked to Hallie and she said, and you're like, I'm sorry, Hallie's a robot. I hate to break this to you.
Wait. Oh
no,
my
gosh. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, we should set up Chad and Maddie and like do like a little Love Island between the chatbots or something.
I love that.
Could you imagine, Jennifer, like get all these AI chatbots together for brands and just like pair them off?
Literally crying. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Also at Parcel Lab, my 2 coworkers here in Minnesota are Maddie and Hallie.
You're joking.
No. So
what are the odds?
So can somebody name something Larry? Like that's obviously not a popular name, but
absolutely.
Can we have like
when we onboard Digital Genius, I'm gonna be like Larry. The name is Larry.
I feel like Larry fits with the Costco shopper, the 30. Like I love a $4.99 shirt. Don't even get me started. So like let's. I'll help train your AI agents, Jennifer.
Please.
What about for you with the customer spotlight, especially coming up to peak season here too? Like, I feel like you, obviously this is probably a really busy time for both of you, but curious, Jennifer, like what's one part of the customer journey that you're really proud of?
Yeah. So I think we've kind of spoken already about just like training agents to be empathetic and training them to really just not just send a macro and be like, okay, we're done, let's go on to the next conversation. I think something that we've never done at 32 that I did this year was we really wanted to just get our customers involved and make them feel special. So we're launching a collection next month. And so what we did to get feedback first on the collection, we reached, obviously we got a list, it was segmented. And we reached out to some customers, about I would say 100 customers. And we had 19 customers involved. And pretty much I just reached out to them, be like, we'd love to have you essentially try out these 4 SKUs. If you're interested, please email me back with your, name, last name, email, and I'll send you more details. The way these customers were like, yes, I'm obsessed with 32 degrees. Sign me up. They're like, please, because I was like, it's first come, first serve, So exactly. These customers were so excited, and no one had ever done that at 32. Essentially, kind of all right, let's reach out, let's get consumer feedback, and so I got my 19 customers, and I sent them, the samples of the 4 SKUs. And then essentially what I did is after they had 2 weeks to try the products, and then I sent them a survey essentially of the fit, style, how they feel about the fabric, things like that.
I'm sorry. Guys.
XYZ. And then I was like, my incentive to them was obviously, you're trying these products, amazing, cool, but you're essentially part of a special community here. You were chosen. And then also $100 gift card. Woo! So obviously sometimes when you hear these surveys, some people fall off, they'll get the products and they never fill out the survey and they kind of ghost you. We had 100% participation, which was insane. And I was so happy about it. And we got great feedback. Obviously, we want to be able to improve, our product pages, if something fits weird or anything, or something like a strap. A lot of customers were saying one of their straps, they're it's too tight and you're not able to adjust it. So that kept coming up a lot. And we were able to kind of have a meeting with the production team. And we were like, this is the feedback that we got. And also just fit. A lot of things came up with it. They're we got to change these size guides, So that was really great to just get the 32 degrees community involved. And for me, it was so much fun because I was like, wow, they're so excited. And we actually got great feedback. It was very fulfilling for me, but also it was wait, we could do something with this. Yeah. Our community on Facebook and Instagram is already super involved and cool, but obviously I'm not really a part of social in that way. Yeah. So I'm let me make this, a CX thing. So now we're going to continue to do surveys, not just launches, but just in general, how they feel about 32 degrees and, other things, other topics. So that's something that I feel I'm proud of. I'm going to continue to do. It's just really exciting for us.
And you already said you watched the episode with Katie from Glossier, but her Glossier Insiders group, on Slack, where they have that super secret Slack group that you can't even be part of, and they just ask people what do you think of this shade? I think that's such a cool idea that you could even do with the 32. Those people, yeah. I mean, shout out to Slack again. Get them into Slack and be like, hey, what before you even make the product, be like, what do you guys think if we did this?
Can I say something? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just piggybacking off of that, I love that so much because getting customers involved does make them feel so special. It's empowering almost, oh my gosh, this brand that I love so much actually cares about what I think. How cool is that? Mm-hmm. And our marketing team is really good. They normally do this type of stuff, but we have even in-person focus groups in Oklahoma City. So for people who are local, they'll send an email and it's if you're interested in, being in this focus group for this potential new product, please let us know and we'd love to have you. And then kind of the same thing, they get them in a room and they just talk about stuff, and it makes those customers feel so, yeah, just special and empowered. And I think that is really important. So Jennifer, I literally love that. Keep doing that. That's so cool.
Yeah, you guys have the buy sell trade groups, which I think, as you were mentioning earlier, which is such a good way to get feedback too from customers.
Yes.
I talked to a lot of friends at that about how are you tracking those buy sell trade groups and seeing what people are saying. And I was actually just quick looking at my LinkedIn because I follow your co-founder Brian,
and he's the best on LinkedIn.
Which is so interesting. People Caraway's doing this too. Like they're leveraging LinkedIn as a way to approach business professionals and use it as a way to do branding and stuff. It's like the next marketplace, I guess. But he just posted the other day about sneaky celebrity sightings of Simple Modern products. And it totally caught my eye too. And it's like, that's kind of that celebrity community that you have as well that you can tap into a little bit. There were some cool people on there.
Yes, it's so fun. I actually need to go look at that post. I got a notification about it, but I didn't get to read it. Was it talking about like Kelly Clarkson in the show, like her show?
Yeah, like her show has it, and Jay-Z was spotted with it, and like some other stuff. So super, super cool idea. I mean, I see all that. I'm on LinkedIn too much, so
yeah.
Even my kids are like, "Is LinkedIn like Facebook for dads?" I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly what LinkedIn."
That's amazing.
So, we're at the last segment, and I think that this one, when I always prep with brands, they're always like, okay, I'm ready for segment 5. So segment 5 is CX Mythbusters. You've made it through the first episode. Now you get to kind of say what's on your mind, what's something that, a myth in the space that you totally disagree with. So Jennifer, maybe we start with you, and what's something that you wish people would stop believing about customer experience?
So I think I kind of like mentioned this before, and I'm going to stick to this, is that just because a product is low priced does not mean that the company or the brand has bad CX. I just feel like that is a constant opinion that comes up all the time. And I love to just prove everyone wrong because, it's definitely not like that. And I think that's what drives me really, because I've seen the difference between working in a luxury company and then working obviously in a company that, has a lower AOV. So yeah, that is the one for me.
I love that because I actually run into a lot of expensive brands that I think feel like they don't have to have good customer experience because they're a luxury brand. You should be lucky that you even have the product. And I think what a missed opportunity. But also I love when you were like, some people think this is a scam because it's too good to be true, which just talks about the quality and the value of the product and stuff. And knowing that you have to, like, obviously we learned you put a ton of experience into the journey for your customers, even for a product that is low cost, right? But that's what gets people to keep coming back. I think people miss that sometimes, is that if you don't provide a good experience, then there's plenty of other companies out there who can take that business as well. Right. Katie, how about you? What's a myth that you'd love to bust?
So I'm going to go back to apparently my favorite subject of this whole show, AI. But one of them is just that for the customer, in the customer standpoint, I want, customers to realize that just because a company utilizes AI doesn't mean the company cares any less about actually answering your questions and giving you the best experience we can. It's just that obviously we want to do it as efficiently and quick as we possibly can. But then on the other side of it, I also want to bust the myth that AI is going to take over everyone's job, because AI is just a tool. It's an incredible tool, but it's not going to ever take the place of a human perspective and heart. And so like for us, we just want to make sure that customers know as well, this is a tool for us because we want to make your experience as good as we can. This is not going to completely take over our customer experience model. So that's mine.
Yeah, to get resolutions quicker. I think everybody appreciates, like, do you prefer a quick resolution or to talk to a human, right? Like,
right. You want to wait 5 days to talk to someone?
Yeah, or do you want somebody who's trained on how to solve this issue for you? And I think it's interesting to see, especially as we go into 2026, where AI goes. There's so many companies that are looking at it, these agents. Jennifer, I'd be excited to get you back on the podcast next year and see how Q4 looks once you start rolling out some of these AI things. If you're maybe the mistake you made in like 2023, you're like, yeah, we can ramp down early. We've got AI handling the leftover calls. Yeah, you guys did great. And I really appreciate you both sharing your information. People can connect with you on LinkedIn. I always tell people that's where I meet most of the people that I bring onto the podcast. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you or challenge some of the things you said or answer some of your questions around AI, then they can connect with you guys on LinkedIn. But otherwise, yeah, thanks so much for joining.
Yay, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The biggest spider is on my wall right now. I mean, I'm afraid.
Oh!
Freaking fly. I can't. Really? Yo, this is not happening today. Not today.
Do like a little Love Island between the chat bots or something.
I love that.